Moving on now, the global inflation is well on the rise now with rising costs of energy and food commodities. Recently, angry Kenyans took to social media to protest about high costs of living in the country. Let's talk to Mercy Milanoy, a business journalist right there in Kenya. Great to have you, Mercy.
Thank you so much, lady. Hope you're having a good Friday afternoon.
Yes, it's not bad. Hope yours is not bad too. But tell us, how bad is it there? With rising costs in Kenya.
Well, actually, we've been having rising cost of food commodities for the past 2-3 years. And of course, this has been as a result of the harvest, the climate change, and also COVID. But right now, there is a major challenge right now, especially with cooking oil and wheat flour, thanks to, of course, the conflict that is going on between Russia and Ukraine, especially, and that has actually affected mostly the cooking oil because we get most of our raw materials from that side. And just to give you the clear picture of what you're dealing with, currently manufacturers here use crude palm oil, and the cost has jumped by a whopping 33%. Now, manufacturers currently buy the raw material at about 1,760 USD. That's about over 200,000 Kenyan shillings per ton. Now, this has increased during the short period of this conflict to about 1,980 US dollars, which is about 225,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, this cost wasn't this way before. This has actually doubled in the wake of the pandemic from March 2020. And initially, manufacturers were getting the raw materials, the crude palm oil, at 700 USD. So you can see the price is almost getting to a triple cost of the raw materials, meaning now the cooking oil that now we buy as consumers is almost going half the cost of our fuel that we fuel to use cars, So there's a whole debate, do you fuel your car or are you going to cook or are you going to fuel your car? And that's the case in situation. But of course, even this is even a bit worsening because Russia has imposed a 3%, has also imposed about a 3% tax on some of the products that we get from them, especially when it comes to wheat flour, because they're also trying to protect their market. And of course, this is just of the negotiations that the Kenyan government is looking at. But the cost of food in Kenya has been going up since last year. And of course, even the reason is because of inflation and COVID. But right now, especially now with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we're backing on a lot of our raw materials from that market. And of course, this is, we're feeling the effect right now.
Right now. All right, but what's the Kenyan government saying at this point? Are you getting any sound bites from them?
Well, of course, the current people who are talking at the market players, if we look at the organizations for edible oils, who, of course, speak on behalf of manufacturers for oil. There's the Cereal Millers Association who speak on behalf of manufacturers of flour and of course even maize flour, and mostly what they're saying is that there needs to now we need to be having diplomatic conversations, especially now between governments, to see how they can be able to still access the raw materials that they need to manufacture, especially cooking oil and wheat flour products. And also now the other thing is looking at regionally in Africa, where else can you be able to get these raw materials? But what the manufacturers have called upon is for the government to scrap off a 3% railway development levy that is imposed on importation of the crude palm oil that they're using to manufacture cooking oil. So once at least this is done, it will be able to cushion a bit the consumer. Of course, the price may not go down quite significantly, but at least it will help cushion the prices if we're able to take care of from the moment the raw materials gets from at the port of Mombasa here in Kenya. And if the government can scrap off the 3%, then at least this will help to manage the price of the end product. But also in the case now of wheat flour and wheat products, now it's to start banking on the current production that we have of wheat in the country, and also just look around, East African commerce and other African countries, they can be able to meet this demand, even as the government tries to start conversations with Russia and other countries on where else we can source wheat flour.
Right. It's all about rising prices right now globally. All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Minanoy, business journalist right there in Kenya. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
All right. Now we see, let's look at what's happening in the oil market. Now we see oil prices continued rising, concerns about supply disruptions for Russian oil and oil products. We're on track for the biggest volatile week with Brent crude climbing about $2.86 while to $112 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas crude futures were up $2.71 to $108 a barrel. Analysts say they now forecast Brent to trade above $100 per barrel in the second quarter and around $90 a barrel by the end of the year. All right, so we'll take a break now. We'll come back. We'll drill down on Africa's fourth quarter GDP report. That's in a moment. Do stay with us. This is Business Incorporated.